So we're going to talk about areas of law today. You know that there are two main areas of law in most legal systems. All right, do you know which ones they are? Can you just write your answers? Or what do you think they are? Criminal and civil, correct. Okay, there's no more than that. Civil and criminal. Okay, now we're just going to look at the differences between civil law and criminal law. All right, this will be in the English system. Many things are going to be the same, but some others are going to be different. Okay, this is just a review of your degree, basically. All right, and let's see if you know them. So, if I ask you, what's the object of civil law and criminal law? Okay, if you say the object of civil law is to deal with responsibility. Okay, civil responsibility. Okay, this would be actually another area of law that is called the law of tort. I don't know if you have ever heard of this type of law. Yeah, law of tort is about civil responsibility. Okay, it actually covers like half civil, half criminal. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now, what about criminal law? What do they deal with in criminal law? Offenses. So in civil, it'll deal with disputes, okay, civil disputes between people, right? And criminal, crime, and offenses in general, correct? What if we talk about the purpose? Yeah, now, this may seem very similar. Yeah, the object and the purpose. Can you tell the difference between object and purpose? Let's see, for example, the object. It would be the general idea. Yeah, what do they deal with? And then the purpose, like maybe what do they want to prevent, or what do they want to do as a result of the dispute? So as a result of the dispute, someone will get some kind of benefit. Yeah, and then in criminal law, if someone commits a crime, you would want them to be punished, right? In civil law, we would say that the purpose is to compensate the victim, and in criminal law, to punish the offender. In a trial or in court, is there a jury? Now, you understand jury as, some people, usually 12 people, that have an opinion on the case. Is there a jury in civil cases or in criminal cases? It depends. Okay. Right. So in criminal cases, yes, there is a jury. All right. Now, in civil cases, it's not common to see a jury at court, but it is possible. All right. Now, this does not apply to the Spanish system. Yeah, maybe Javier, can you tell us when you can find a jury in Spanish law or in Spanish courts? Only in criminal law. Now, next thing would be, do they have to give a unanimous opinion? Okay, that means, do they all have to agree on the decision of the case? Okay, it's not necessary. So, I mean, if you're the jury, you can, I don't know, if you don't agree with the other members of the jury, it's okay. Okay, would this be the same for civil cases and criminal cases? different. Let's see how it's different. Well, for civil cases, it's not necessary for the jury to have a unanimous opinion. But for criminal cases, yes, they need a unanimous opinion. All right? Who files the case? That's the next question. Who files the case? As in, who starts the proceeding? Who starts a civil proceeding and who starts a criminal proceeding? Maybe you can give me an answer in the chat. The claimant. Okay, so in the civil proceeding, you can have the claimant start a case against the defendant. What about in criminal law? Because we don't have a claimant in criminal law. The prosecutor. Good. Okay. So we have in civil law a private party. Okay. It could be the claimant. Okay. Or it could be someone else. Right. Then in the criminal law, we have the prosecutor. Okay. Which is the representation of the government. Now, what's the decision? And we talked about this yesterday, actually. Because there are like two famous words that are innocent and guilty, right? This one is for criminal law. But what about civil? Do you remember the words that you use instead of guilty and innocent? Right, liable and not liable. Thank you, Beatriz. Well done. And next part is about proof. What about proof, right? You have to, well, in a case, right, you have to give proof in order to make someone guilty or liable for their actions. Okay, so in civil law, it is the claimant who has to give proof. And in criminal law, it is the prosecution, right, or the prosecutor, the one that must prove that the prosecuted is guilty. But I read that for civil law, you have to give, I don't know, if you give some proof that someone did something wrong, they're guilty. But in criminal law, it works different. Because I read like a sentence that it was very, very clear. The criminal is innocent until proven guilty. The prosecution must prove that the defendant is guilty. But there was like a percentage. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it says in case of criminal law, the defendant is not declared guilty unless approximately more than 99% proof is against him. Okay, so how much proof do you have to give in a civil case to be considered liable? I think it's only like a piece of proof. I mean, if you can prove only one thing, you're guilty, let's say. What's a punishment in civil law and what's a punishment, a type of punishment in criminal law? Let's just do civil first. What type of punishment can you receive if someone makes a claim against you and you lose the case? Compensation. Okay, so indemnity. Well, indemnización, that's compensation. Okay. So the punishment would be that the defendant has to pay some kind of money or some amount of money to the claimant. Okay, and this would be a type of punishment. And this is the most typical one. But do you think there might be other types of punishment in civil law? Is compensation always money? No, right? So according to Javier, it could be, for example, giving something back. Yeah, so depending if it's a service, if it's something you buy, depending if it's money that you lose, right? So it's going to be different things. Alrighty, now what types of punishment can you have in criminal law? Depends on the case. It could be jail, right? It could be jail, prison, right? Okay, so prison, jail, those are the same thing. I have a cat, so she's just like jumping up and down. A fine. So you may have to pay a fine. Yes, imprisonment, fine. And let's see another example. Imagine that it is like a criminal case of a boy who is a teenager. Yeah, he's not 18 yet. And he cannot pay a fine and he cannot go to jail because he's under 18. What type of punishment would this person have? Community service. Okay, community service. Well done. Okay, so as we said, in civil law, the defendant has to compensate the claimant. In criminal law, we can have the imprisonment, fines, or community service. Good. Okay, and here I just have a little table for you to see everything. Yes, I will share this with you